Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, April 11th, and a pretty busy weather forecast. We've got a lot going on with a system moving through this morning, and it could bring some light snow to the area. In fact, some areas could snow just hard enough where it may slick up the roads or maybe leave a coating on the grass. But although it won't be a lot, yet another day of measurable precipitation possible here in this pretty snowy month of April. Showers and thunderstorms possible tonight. Better chance of showers and thunderstorms as we get into Friday night into the weekend. And then there could also be some freezing rain as the colder temperatures will try to sag south with all that rain cooling the atmosphere up. Up north, they could get some very, very heavy snows and some pretty severe icing that could cause a lot of power outages. Again, this would be for the northern part of the state, but we really need to keep an eye on where that front ultimately ends up, as if it were to sag further south, we could have a freezing rain issue across much of mid-Michigan. But right now, I don't think we're going to get too severely impacted, but if we do, I would not be shocked either. So we'll keep an eye on that. Overall, I think for the 14 station average, about 2.3 to 2.7 inches of rainfall. Locally, some areas could see up to 4 inches of rain. And again, some of the models are putting down about 20 to 35 inches of snow up in the areas like Traverse City and into Rogers City, over towards Alpena, Sheboygan, Oscoda, Gaylord. Again, could be a very significant historic type winter storm for portions of northern lower Michigan. Yesterday we had a high of 46 and a low of 23 with 1/100 of an inch of precipitation. Not too much. So far for the month of April, 14.5 degrees below normal per day. So very, very cold April so far. And if we look at conditions around the area this morning, you can see temperatures mainly in the low to mid 30s with the cloud cover, and you can see where it has begun to precipitate and now snow across the western sections. And as that precipitation moves to the east, we'll see these temperatures fall, allowing the snowfall to develop. It'll be a quick hitter, not a whole lot again as far as precipitation, but the fact is another day of snow in April. Yesterday, pretty interesting satellite view. You can see these two areas. These aren't clouds. These are snow that melted through the days. You can see them slightly get smaller. Again, with the sun out, that melted that snow. That was from the previous night where many areas picked up some snowfall on the ground. And you can see on the satellite view this morning that area of colder cloud tops with some snow this morning moving into the Great Lakes. It'll quickly move off to the east, and then we're going to watch energy coming off from the west. We're going to get a warm front that's going to try to push up into the state. And again, depending on where that front lies, south of that front, we could get into the 60s and 70s, and to the north of it, maybe only in the 30s and 40s. And right in between, a very nasty rain with temperatures in the 40s for the most part. And then this will be two storms. The first one will come through as we get into Thursday and Thursday night, especially for Thursday night, and then the final storm will be the stronger storm. That's going to move to the east, and eventually what we think is going to become negatively tilted, and it's going to make a turn to the north across lower Michigan, and that could save the mid-Michigan area from a lot of freezing rain and snow potential. If it were to stay the south and then cut to the east, then we'd have more of that threat, so we need to keep an eye on that. As far as the radar out there this morning, you can see that area of snow developing and moving into the area. Again, this area here most likely is reaching the ground, maybe even sticking in some places, and that'll move into the area here from west to east over the next few hours and then move out. We'll have sunshine, temperatures will warm up into the 50s, so it's going to be a nice day. I think upper 50s for the southern areas, low 50s across mid-Michigan, only in the 40s as you get further north. And where that warm front again sets up, that's going to be a big temperature contrast over the weekend. You can see now as we get into Thursday, that front getting to the north of the area, so temperatures in mid-Michigan could get up around 60, with temperatures climbing up close to 70 degrees for places like Blissfield, Jasper, and over towards Tupperville. But then by Friday, with all that rain, we see the freezing rain sinking further and further south, so it's going to be a very, very close call here in mid-Michigan. Very heavy snow, severe icing possible across the northern areas. And again, if you're up there around Houghton Lake, I think the air line would be someplace around perhaps Manistee to Houghton Lake to Oscoda. From there north, you could get quite a winter storm here over the next several days, so stay tuned. As far as precipitation, this is what I'm forecasting, 2.3 to 2.7. The official forecast, I'll finalize it this afternoon, but right now, unless there's something comes out with a 12Z run, I don't see a whole lot of change in that. Very, very heavy rainfall, locally up to 4 inches. heavy snow to the north. And again, we'll track this. I'll update this many times throughout the next several days during the day as precipitation begins to fall into the area. We won't start counting it until midnight tonight. And if we look at the precipitation from the different models, the WPC, wide area of over 2.5 to 3.5 inches across the entire MAC and LAC areas. If we look at the GFS, you can see again 3 to maybe even 4 inches of rain across much of the area. And if we look at the Canadian, has a large area of between 2 and 2.5, some isolated 3-inch amounts. So again, my numbers may be too conservative, but I'm going to hang on to those right now, and then we'll take another peek at the 12Z, and then we'll come out with that final forecast. As far as snowfall amounts, the GFS shifted a little farther north, but boy, if you're in the upper portions of lower Michigan, this could be a historic snowfall event for places like 42 inches. Are you kidding me? Even if we cut these in half, that would still be just a tremendous snowstorm. 35 inches up towards Sault Ste. Marie, 20 inches over towards Alpena. And again, if you're around the Houghton Lake area, this would be about 7 inches, 13 inches at Grayling, 21 inches at Gaylord. Again, we're going to really want to keep an eye on this. So, like I said, the last week or so, winter is alive and well in the UP and in northern lower Michigan over into Ontario. And this may not be the last of it either. As far as the forecast goes, again, very windy conditions today. We can see winds tomorrow gust up to 40 miles per hour with temperatures in the low 50s across mid-Michigan, rising into the upper 50s and then settling in the mid-50s before we cool down over the weekend. Again, plenty of precipitation, mainly rain for the central areas, thunderstorms further south, snow to the north. Again, 2.3 to 2.7 inches average. And again, if you're in southern lower Michigan, you could get close to 70 degrees as we go through the next couple of days. On to weather watch, winter storm watches. Normally I don't show things this far west, but we expect these winter storm watches to spread across into Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP, and into the northern lower peninsula here over the next couple of days. So very, very wintry weather expected across the Northland with springtime thunderstorms across southern and lower Michigan and heavy rain in between. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.